The 1st of April I got my ticket through. Sort of buzzing on it, you know what I mean, don't really know what to expect, new lake. I arrived sort of early hours, so it'd be sort of 4 o'clock, and started doing a few laps. Every time you sort of turned a corner, you know, everything would be new, little bays, and you know, just not knowing what to expect. So the buzz of the new lake was there, you know, it was, with having seen the pictures of the few sort of, you know, there's probably an handful over sort of £40 that get caught most years, bait fish if you like. Sort of biggest then going to around sort of £46, £47. It did do a common over £50, which got found dead the other year. I wanted to try and get spots, knowing that the water clarity I was going to lose it completely and it would all be down to feel, and how weedy the lake was, it'd be a matter of time before the weed lifted, being able to find spots easier with the marker. So I just wanted to go around really and just off, you know, trading winds really, off a northerly, easterly, westerly, southerly, and get areas in them areas, if you like, that would be fishable. So I spent a lot of time, like I say, sort of looking, dropping blocks on sort of silt beds, some nice sort of clay areas, some already sort of hump and bumpy sort of gravel areas. Some that would need a little bit of bait to clean off, and some that would always be, get a rig on it, clean. Yeah, if it was quiet, you know, sort of 5, 6, 7 spoms on each area, just enough to sort of keep it seeing bait regular. Because of the weed dying, if you like it, you know, it's rotting on the bottom, and areas that weren't clean off with bait, you know, you'd wind in a pop-up after 6, 7 hours, and a white one, it'd be grey, black, stinking, really sour already. But I found on the spots that we've seen, you know, just a mixture of sort of krill, a little bit of krill powder, and, you know, them clusters and bit of particles, small food, like small food items, load of oil over there, a little liquid. It was just enough of stink. Like I say, not masses of it, just 10 spoms at a max, I suppose, over a spom, just on a regular basis. But when I'd bring my upbaits off them areas, they'd still be, as they went out, if you like, you know, still quite sweet to the smell. It's an indication that, you know, they were getting fed on regular them spots. So yeah, the season's been going really well so far. 43 fish, landing 35 of those. Sort of 35, I think I had 6 fish over £30, with 35 being the main one, up until last week. I managed to get my hands on one of the real special mirrors in here, one I really wanted. Fish they call the Unit, £45, 4 ounces. Monday morning, and I got down late Sunday night, and a load of weed was sort of acting into the swim. I had been fishing a little bit. So, you know, it'd take 2-3 hours to, you know, work to clear it, to even get some lines out. So I've been checking whether I thought, rather than do the night there and pack up and get on the wind, I'll just settle there, get the rods out, and sort of hope for the wind to turn tomorrow, trap set ready for it. So I'd flicked them out on some, like flicked the marker out on a couple of spots I've been, you know, in like 2 or 3 spoms, regular. And yeah, nipped out in the boat though to bait up, just try and keep everything as tight as possible. And yeah, sort of waited there. 24 hours later, the wind's still not done as it had said, but checking the phone, you know, and it's not doing what it said it's doing. Still, you know, it's meant to be west-northwest, and it's just blowing a straight westerly. So I sort of thought, right, and I wandered down the other end where I had been fishing a little bit, and I had a bucket and a half of sort of particles up there, so I decided to, rather than take it home with me, I'd put it in on a couple of spots up there, and if it still looked, the wind hadn't turned and anything turned up where I was fishing, I dropped down there for my last night. So yeah, I'd done another night in sort of on the end of the northwest corner, see if anything turned up, but it did spin round, perfect, blowing down there for an hour. And that was it, flattened off, and it just picked up more of a west-southwest again. So not really feeling it, packed everything up, chucked it on the barrow, put everything in the van and sort of drove round to the car park. And yeah, I mean, it's chaos at that end of the day, you know, it's right near the sailing club, there's kids out in boats from sort of 9 o'clock in the morning till 4 o'clock, you ain't fishing, wind them in, you know, you get boats coming in, I've had them crashing into the tips almost. So yeah, that was it, decided to get in there for me last night, put the float out amongst all the carnage, went out in the boat and sort of I probably had about 2 or 3 kilos of bait left in all with me. I put everything in the van, what I could find, pellets, boilies, everything I had, a load of liquid over it to stink it all up, and sort of split it between the 2 spots. I suppose it's just nice evening, but the sun sort of set straight across you in front of that swim, making it really hard if you ain't got much cloud cover, blinding you almost. Just as it dropped to below the trees, a couple of rods out, sweet on the money. And yeah, that was it, sort of trap set. And a mate of mine, Davey, come down, just sort of a bit of a social, dominoes, and sort of sat up late, having a good chat. And yeah, probably half 11, 12 o'clock before we sort of crashed out. And sort of fast asleep, much needed sleep. And yeah, 4 o'clock, I've just heard a few bleeps, and snatch out the clip. A load of weed has sort of gathered on the line, so I was sort of picked up into the fish, you know, the line's sort of 30 yards out, and I can just about feel something on the end. So I pumped the lot in, and I thought what I'd hooked had actually come off, it was just a dead weight. And sort of chucked the rod behind me, that convinced it had come off, grabbed the leader, and ripping away, and I just see a small sort of pale mirror sat amongst it all, so I got the net underneath him. And it turned out one I caught before in actually my first session on, a little 18 pounder. But yeah, complete buzz, you know, it's like bonus carp at that. I didn't even know there was one there. Just sort of more than chuffed with that. Couple of pictures, got the rod back out there. I sort of sat there and it looked so perfect. This gentle wind started trickling in towards us. See patches of fizzies going off on the far bank, and then bosh, one stuck its head out. Bosh, another one a little bit closer. Just really looked prime like it's going to happen. I was just sat in a bucket in front of the swim watching it. And yeah, sort of switched off, making a cup of tea. I can't remember what I was doing. I think I'd lost my sling, putting the 18 pounder back a couple of water shots, and I was just in the water trying to find it. You know, it's only that deep, and I couldn't, arms under the boat and everything, I couldn't find it for anything. And the bobbins hit the blank right behind me, you know, sort of turned round, and it's just snatched out the clip, but then just, you know, fishing them really tight in the clutch, but quite a good drop on them. And yeah, it's out the clip, but started dropping back as if a real vicious liner. So sort of, and it slowly started creeping back up again. Picked it up. Yeah, there's something on. And then as everything sort of like really tightened up, you just see it soaring left. Quick, a bit too quick, and I was like, just looked at it, mate, and just, this is different. So it erupts on the top, and then it's just poof, bang, bang. You know, it's just off its head going, and I'm just, again, looking at it thinking, are you having this? Poof, it's erupted on the surface, then it's sort of gone quite deep and off to the left. Because then there's a lot of weed blown into the swim to the left, and it probably goes out 30 yards in some cases. With it going left, if it gets behind that, it's jumping the boat, because it's just piled up, you know, it's solid. And it's sort of making it, you know, real side strain, and with that it's sort of turned, and I got a glimpse of its sort of size and depth. I knew it was attached to a better one. And yeah, luckily it's sort of, well, I say luckily, it's sort of half in the net, half not, it's exploded, it's sort of got the better on me, you know, and it's going for the weed again. And at this point I've seen, you know, we've got a 40 pounder on the end here, it's a big chocolate coloured thing. And yeah, just praying, please stay on, please stay on. And with that, stuck the net underneath him, and just, you know, you had got one of the real sort of special ones. The one you sit there in the van and sort of think about all them hours. And I say my mate Dave was with me. I'm sort of looking in the net and I'm like, that's a, you know, it's a beast. It was sort of, it's a big, you know, it's a mid-40 this is, mate. And he sort of looked at it, sort of shot back into his fingers, grabbed his phone, and yeah, it's definitely, it's the unit. Yeah, definitely, look, it's got to be. Yeah, so we sort of got everything ready, hoisting them up, and I was sort of half expecting, you know, everything else on the lake seems to be 4, 5 pound down this year, you know. So in my mind I'm thinking 41, 42 pound, although it's frame of a, you know what I mean, a lot bigger. Sort of hoisting them up on the scales, and we got a bar on it, and yeah, Dave's read sort of 45, 4. You know, it's just blown away, you know, absolute beast. But yeah, there's certainly a good handful left to try and catch, so see how that goes.